Coming up, NFL star Jack Brewer on why America is not a racist nation. I'm Oliver North. Our guest today, Professor Jack Brewer of the Fordham Gabelli School of Business in New York. Jack's a former NFL safety, a three-time team captain who played for the Minnesota Vikings, the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Arizona Cardinals. Jack's also a former investment banker, a devoted philanthropist, and served 4 years as ambassador to the U.S. Federation for Peace and Development at the United Nations. He co-hosts a digital podcast, Level-Headed, with Mike Lindell. And not last and not least, Jack's an ordained minister who dedicates his time in prisons all across America. Jack, thank you for taking time to join us today. You're kind. Well, you and I have some common ground because I've got a grandfather and two uncles that graduated from the institution where you teach. So give me your take on what our nation's been going through the last several months. The COVID virus, the shutting down of the economy, and now this civil unrest and disorder and quite vandalism, all of it. Give me your take on all this.
Science major instead. Team Rubicon is a newer organization. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary, and we were founded right after Haiti as a reaction to that and to wanting to go out and help. And I'll pause there for a moment because it looked like you maybe had a question or an interjection. I think our culture is what helps us be adaptable, and that's inherent to the organization's culture, which we've made an effort to really define and protect, but I think is ultimately rooted in, having a veteran-led organization where the majority of our members come from a prior service background or are first responders.
Well, look, there are those who say that there's systematic oppression in this country.
I'm repeating this back to make sure I have it. What are we doing?
You see that in some of these,
that is
some of
not
these
COVID
protests.
related.
In Washington, D.C., they're tearing down statues
of
just anybody.
Everyone's been asking the other question.
Like. And there's all kinds of things
outside of COVID-related
work,
like Seattle, we're really focused on our core mission and our traditional capabilities to date. So the big thing we're doing right now is getting ready for storm season.
And seemingly
that
storms don't
care whether coronavirus
is that the way it looks to you?
Not. There's tons of homeowners across the country who are still going to be affected. So we've been looking at anything from how to make more of our training available online so we can teach things like logistics section chief as a virtual offering, to, just updating safety and PPE considerations so that we can do work as storm season hits. Now is a great time to join the team. We need everyone we can get in cities all across the country. If you go to our website, teamrubiconusa.org, click on the volunteer page and follow the links to sign up. We would love to have you on the team. We have at least 125,000. I think it's even grown since I last checked. I want them to know that we've built an organization that succeeds in truly valuing and leading its members at a local community level. Thank you.
Yep. 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 Right. Yeah. Well, you now hear a lot of calls for uh, defunding or canceling police organizations around the country. I look at these defunding calls and I say, who are you going to get when you call 911 and you need help? What's your take? Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. 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 True. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, there's about 30% of America's law enforcement are former military personnel. They're veterans. And I hear from a lot of them that, they were looking at doing this or going to a police academy or that kind of thing. And you're absolutely right. It's going to be really tough to recruit law enforcement officers next few years ahead. Very quickly, the NFL, I mean, you got more experience in the NFL than anybody I've talked to, and certainly recently. Give me your take on what this season's going to be like with only 30% or whatever in the stands, if it even happens. What's it going to be like? Yeah. 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 Jack, 50 years from now, my great-grandkids are going to be studying about this extraordinary time in history. What do you want them to know about what you did during this remarkable time? God bless you, brother. I appreciate it very much, you joining us today. Now, you're kind. God bless you, brother. If this broadcast has been informative, helpful, or encouraging to you, take time now to subscribe and let me know how these unprecedented events have affected you and yours. By doing so, you may become part of this historical record of how America persevered and, once again, prospered. Until next time, remember, Semper Fidelis is more than a slogan for U.S. Marines. Always faithful is a way of life. Now, America, press on, press on.